Is it working? I'm live here. Good morning, everyone. It is Sunday. If you may or may not be aware, I sometimes am not, and then I wake up and I go, "Oh, it is Sunday." Isn't that nice? You ever wake up and you just feel like it's a different day? You wake for some reason. You had a dream that it was a Wednesday or something. Nevertheless, I'm here to recalibrate you. It is Sunday. My Wi-Fi is shot. So I'm running all of this business off of my phone. I'm running this stream on Twitter Spaces here, which is where we are, and also live. So God willing, it stays and everything's okay. That would be amazing. We're going to forge ahead. We're going to live our lives. We're going to make do. And in addition to making do, we're going to be making coffee. We're going to make do and coffee. I love how there's only dew in the morning. They always say morning dew. I feel like at this point you just say dew and you can presume it's the morning. So my question in that regard is there any night dew? I'm not sure. I don't know. If you've ever seen any night dew, let me know. First of all, let's take a look at the underwear. They are Calvin's. They are briefs. There's a tightness here. Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm getting tighter. Who knows? They're a dark gray, kind of. This isn't a sports gray. I believe this is like an ash gray. Nevertheless, there we are, and there they are as we make do and other things here on YouTube and also on the spaces. There's space for me, there's space for you, there's space for us all. And let us talk. We have some comments already. Hamburger One says, "Great question. Who is the genetically superior wrestler? Andy Kaufman or David Arquette?" Well, if we're talking about physical genetics, I have to go with David. He has calves like I've never seen before. They're tremendous. He doesn't work them out at all. It's a genetic defect almost, but it works out in his favor. If we're going with mental genetics, well, then it's Andy by a landslide. And that should be a surprise to absolutely no one. Ty said, "Good morning. How are you doing?" I'm okay. I'm in a place of peace. And I'm in a space of peace. And I'm sure the angst and anxiety will slowly start to creep in. And that's fine because I'm at peace with it. Tom said, "Morning, you all. Hope the week didn't suck." Well, a week is a week. And sometimes the important thing is if it did suck, it's okay. Lynn May says, "Good morning from Australia. We have just entered another lockdown. Tips for loneliness and horniness." Lynn, there's this thing you can do yourself that is going to blow your mind. Sometimes you're like, I don't even know, why would I ever need another person? Let's stay locked down. More lockdown. I would suggest ordering some books, some literature. It doesn't have to be sexual literature. It doesn't have to be pornographic. It could be about space or something, or the atoms or something. You can do it while you do anything. That's the beauty of the human body. It can be tricked into a variety of responses. And then I would say just make sure you have a good weighted blanket and the loneliness should go away. Sean said, "Hey, yo, culties. Hey, Mr. City," which makes me sound like a real cool teacher. "Hey, class, put away your textbooks. Let's rap about life. How are you doing? What can you teach me?" That's what I want to know. That's my cool character teach. Leo said, "Good morning," and put spaces in between all the letters, which is slightly annoying. Pat just said, "Good morning, all. Happy Sunday. I'm having Arabica bean, Arabica. I don't know. Nobody's ever checked me on the pronunciation of it. I'm having Arabica bean coffee this morning. What about you?" I am having, I believe, I totally forgot because I put it in a separate canister and I don't know where I am on my list of coffees I have to get there. I believe I'm using a bulletproof. It's like a kickback, boost your morning kind of thing. And it's just coffee. I was gifted it because they're expensive to buy. You know, some things in life you like, I would love that if somebody got it for me. But to buy it for myself, I would not be interested. Go Figure is here and figure that out. Said, hey, shades of a cartoon that we're not allowed to talk about anymore. Everyone, hope all are well. Well, we can hope. Sean said, "Isn't it all Arabica?" It's all Arabica. Val said, "Morning, darlings." Nail said, "Good morning, everyone." Jeffrey Ballo said, "I can't believe it's yet another new day. Feels like we just had one yesterday. Sunday, the 27th of June, 2021. I feel like I'm starting your programming morning. Remember when the TV, I don't remember because I wasn't born then, but the TV used to have like start and stop programming days. They used to end at like, I don't know, midnight with the national anthem or something. Then they used to shut off. They used to go to straight static. And now we end your programming day. And in the morning, they used to go, good morning. This is Sunday, the 27th of June, 2021. And this is the start of your programming day. Nail said, hashtag pot for pancakes. Jennifer says, good morning. Go figure said, God's will is very important to the coffee. Why are we talking about God? God's will is very important to the coffee in your underwear genre. I think I have my fingers crossed for the big guy upstairs that he's watching, and maybe he'll join on Spaces. Who knows? Ace said, just got to see a man covered in bad smells. Also, happy 10th anniversary to the CM Punk pipe bomb promo. Yeah, it was important that we get that in. We can all look back and say, wow, that bomb was piping. Stokely said, nice wagon. Thank you. David said, good morning, do. Good morning, do. Clarence said, happy Pride weekend. I got my Pride underwear and outfit all set to watch the New York City Pride live stream today at 12 p.m. Eastern on YouTube. I guess he's working in the marketing department. I'll still get the Calvin Klein Pride briefs in a 5-pack. I won't quit. I admire your determination, Clarence, even on non-Pride weekends and months and not in a parade. That's when it's important. Anyone can just walk in a parade around. Talk to me in February. Let's see the Pride then. Jeff said, the Making Do gang. Val said, morning, David. David said, is he in 6K high tech? I'm in $6,000. That was how much the setup cost. And I don't know what quality it's coming in. Leo said, will we ever see your beautiful kitchen ever again? I'm sure you will one day. Have the faith. I'll show everyone the nice marble countertops. Neil said, Matt Camp from famous French wrestling television program Le Boomp is in the Twitter space. Yes, he is. Hello to everybody in the Twitter space, especially Matt Camp. I don't know if I'll be seeing him soon on Le Boomp. I Le Boomp in, I Le Boomp out. He's a Le Boomp around kind of guy. You know what I mean? He is Le Boomp in the same way, if Brian Gumbel left the Today Show. I don't know what that program would be. Hamburger One said, if B. Arthur were a pro wrestler, what would her finisher be? Probably staring, and then the person would leave the ring and she would win by countout. The Matt Camp said, I am also here. That is also Matt Camp from the famous French wrestling program Le Boomp. He's in the chat on YouTube and he's listening on Twitter Spaces. He has me in stereo today, as does Nails, who we spoke to in Spaces last time, and it was a good time. We talked about Sting, not the wrestler. We talked about Sting, the musician. Aaron said, good morning, Sunday friends. Leo said, what is with all the anxiety-themed merch? I mean, it's called branding. David said, wow, the ultimate dumpliment. And talking about a dump truck is those calves. Oh, my. I don't even know how the guy walks around. Maybe he has a heavy foot. That's why his calves are so long or so strong. Sean said, hi, David. Hi, Nails. Hi, E. Hi, Matt Camp. Hi, Culties. Nails said, morning, Matt. I also like to multitask on a Sunday. Well, he's multitasking doing the exact same thing on two different platforms. It's not terribly efficient, I would say that. Sean is using all the appropriate members emojis. Sakaria said, good morning, everyone. My mom is watching live today. Well, hello to Mrs. Ward Clark. Mrs. Clark, hello, lady. And thank you for watching live and bonding with your daughter, whose name I constantly mispronounce, but she's okay with it. And now it's too late for me to change the pronunciation. It's already set in my head. So here we are. And I assume you named her. So you got to live with that. Stokely said, RJ, when was your last Lee Majors fantasy? I just, on Tuesday, I closed my eyes and I went, Lee. And then I woke up in a start. Dylan said, can you rap for us? Dylan, I absolutely cannot. Shanika said, good morning, all, and good morning to you. Ace said, would you want to work with Tyler Breeze? I have in a video game capacity, and I've worked with him. I haven't worked with him, but I've spoken to him in a personal capacity. Do I want to work with anyone? No, but if I had to work with someone, he seems like a delightful guy. David said, RJ's calves are smaller than his tiny heart. I would beat Andy and RJ in a shoot match. A shoot match. We love those. Those always end well. I'm a maniac in a street fight. Neither one of those clowns would last a second. And you know what? How dare you besmirch the good name of clowns, of which you are a big supporter. And now here you are turning that word against people and using it as a weapon. And I think that should give you a moment for pause and reflection on how your anger can sometimes get the better of you. Patrick said, your hair has gotten so long, RJ, it suits you. Thank you. Soon it'll be able to cover my nipples, and then I'll be able to get monetized. Nell said, I believe David. I've seen him training in the streets with the luchas, and you can watch it too. If you watch You Cannot Kill David Arquette, available on Laserdisc. Asig, your hair is glorious. Thank you. Spot Center said, I'll be waiting for you with Open Arms by Journey, playing while you walk across the Rainbow Bridge on July 21st. Open borders. I'm renting a party bus, and all cult members are invited to greet you. I'm not interested. David said, I'm convinced RJ is writing out the final days of the pandemic in a sauna. It's not the final days. Let's be honest. Talk to me 6 months from now and tell me how everything's going. Jack said, morning, folks. Positively, he said, do the Urkel. And then with a B. Arthur emoji, who they did appear together. I don't know if it was on the Grammys or the Teen Choice Awards or something bizarre like that. Matt said, my first Brian Gumbel comparison. Wow, thank you. I think so. He's not maligned like Brian Williams. I don't think he has a dark past. I think he's a clean-cut kind of guy. Sean said, where did we go? Oh, I've lost everyone. Sean said, Sting and his tantric bass playing, for sure. A said, any stories about Malcolm Bivens? Well, I mean, we were really heading for a WrestleMania at Zaxby's 2 years ago before everything shut down, and I'm upset we didn't get to finish that. I have that locked down. I've only been in person with him, I would say max like 3 times. So I really don't have that many stories. Nail said, RJ, you were on Backyard Pro and didn't tell us. I was also not aware. Yolanda said, hey. Again, a cartoon we can't talk about. Good morning to you all. Go figure said, I wonder how Sting, the musician, felt about RoboCop. Probably not as tight with him as Sting, the wrestler. No, but I think he was close with like a Phil Collins and a Peter Gabriel, those kind of people. And I don't think Sting, the wrestler, was. And I think that probably bothered Sting, the wrestler, because he sounds like a guy who would listen to Peter Gabriel. SM said, did you find some Spumoni last week? So last week I mentioned Spumoni off the top of my head, and I went, oh my God, that's what I'll have for my cheat meal today. I'm gonna get me some Spumoni. Luckily, I have time on my hands. I searching. Not one establishment selling at a retail, wholesale, no Spumoni to speak of. So I spent Sunday begrudgingly Spumoni-less. And I searched everywhere. Sunday this week, I'm never going to bother looking unless someone, knows how to make it, whip it up or something. It's a real shame. And if I want, my legacy, you always wonder about, what legacy am I going to leave behind? And I want to say, hey, I'm the guy who brought Spumoni back. David said, can your mom virtually throw you down the stairs for us? I mean, she literally did it, and it was enough of a scar, and it hurt me. You never forget your scars, and who gave them to you? Leo said, do you like coffee? It's okay. Stokely said, do the horse. I also will not. Jack said, no, he hates coffee. He just uses it as a prop for this series. Kind of like Dean Martin. They always said he was the drunk, but most of the time it was apple juice in there. And Frank Sinatra was the real drinker. And they also weren't very close. It was a business relationship. For the cameras, they were tight and they would hug. But after that, they wouldn't go have lunch. A said, Breeze can take all the bumps while you get the pin on your opponent. That's what I do with David. Leo said there's actually a Bang energy drink in his mug. Yeah, I like that burning sensation inside. David said, I'm pausing and reflecting. Coffee and underwear, time out. Put the hat on and face the wall. Nug said, morning all. What a collection of celebrities in the audience today. What a dais, if I may be so bold as to say. SM said, I watched You Cannot Kill David Arquette for like the 5th time this week. And did you learn anything different this time? Is it better or worse the 5th time? Nell said, thank you, Spot Center, for letting us know about it. Stokely said, I like David's clown shoes. And then David sent a tribute here with a hippopotamus banging its fists together. And it says GG. And I think he did that out of, it's a timeout fee. Yeah, he did it out of shame and reflection. And I thank you for accepting it and learning and bettering yourself because of it. And I almost want to be proud of you. Rachel Clifford said, I saw a commercial for Stanley Tucci in a cartoon, followed by one for pistachios, and I kept laughing. Speaking of pistachios, Rachel, David sent this to me last week. There's a huge pistachio smuggling ring, and a lot of the mainstream pistachios are tainted and not of good quality. The real stuff is all underground now. You got to really pay for it. I'll tell you the other. We think I have a request here. Oh, hold on. Let me finish this also reminds me of the Nutella. There's like 3 kinds of Nutella. There's like the Nutella that we have that they make in North America. There's the Nutella that they import from Italy to here. And then in Italy, they have their own. That's way better than all the others. Let me get through these comments for 1 second. Leo said, why is it that when anyone talks about Sting, someone brings up the tantric sex thing? Well, it's because nobody likes his music. Joe Nucco said, you should have gotten that Car Shield commercial gig. Yeah, I am better than Ric Flair. We can woo. We can all woo. Neil said, we have Sean Val and Nug in the space. I think I get too excited about Twitter Spaces. S said, that was so much pistachio talk last week that YouTube recommended I rewatch the episode with the pistachio-colored undies. That's a good system. David said, when my sister was dating Peter Gabriel, which I didn't fucking even know, I ran into him at a hair salon on Melrose, and he had tinfoil in his hair, and we had an awkward conversation. Could you envision a scenario when you would have had a good, legitimate conversation with Peter Gabriel, and you would say, that went well? Let's bring in the Brian Gumble of LaBoom, to be honest with you. Matt Camp. He's connecting. I'm connecting to him, and he's connecting to us.
How about this? I even remembered to mute YouTube.
Oh, look at this. So I can't tell you to turn down your radio.
Nope. I knew to do it because it's about a second delay, maybe.
Well, first question. Have you ever had a conversation with Peter Gabriel?
No, but I used to work with someone who was really proud of the fact that Sledgehammer was #1 on the day he was born, and he would remind me every 6 months.
Wow. That's so weird. I don't think mine was 88. July 88. I don't think there was anything worth it.
I don't even remember what January 85 was. I feel like it was Michael Jackson.
Yeah, and,
Yes.
What are you going to do? Could you imagine David Arquette and Peter Gabriel? Hey, I think I'm dating your sister.
Do you think he'd redo, people when they need to make money, they come out with albums and they remaster things they did? You think he would do Sledgehammer for David in 2021?
David, can you ask, David used to be a musician and he had his own band. I don't know if you know about that. Do you know the name of the band?
I don't.
Ear 2000.
Oh.
Yeah. And he sent me a picture of it actually the other day. It's, oh my God, it is great.
They should come back too.
They should come back too. It should be Ear 2021.
Everything else is coming back. I saw there's a new Halloween movie. You might as well.
I don't think he can come back. I don't think it was ever there. Do you know what I'm saying?
Oh.
I think you have to establish it. You can't just bring things back that didn't really stick in the first place. Okay, David said woo-woo for some reason. David said, David's talking about our tags and said, I've taken the heat a few times, RJ. That's not fair. And that's because you're the only good guy in the match. I don't know how else you would take it.
People know I called one of your matches?
Yeah, David, did you know that Matt Camp called the House of Hardcore Philadelphia match where we wrestled Robbie E and someone else? And then remember Sandman came out and Bully Ray came out and he put you through the table and hurt you because he's a bully, as his name would decree. And then that's how I met Courtney, and that's how she gave me the bad cappuccino, which she owes me. Does she know Peter Gabriel? These are the questions I have.
What a weekend that connected on so many things.
Yeah.
In the future.
Yes, and we also at the and maybe this was in hindsight the mistake. We went to this diner across the street before the show.
Yes.
And Bully was holding court at a table far away from us. And David, the two of them had some busted open beef. And
that sounds right.
I recommended that he send Bully a pie to the table. And he sent over, I think it was like a cherry pie. They were like, it's one of those old diners where they have pies in the window. And it was just like, bring him a pie. And I think that softened him up.
He was just trying to, build to the next match, I'm sure. Because I'm sure there was a whole much bigger idea.
There was a much bigger idea that didn't happen. And I largely blame it on the fact that Courtney made such a bad cappuccino. Nug called you Champ Camp, which is sweet. Kim said, Archie, do you like chocolate-covered pistachios? I've never had them. Do you not feel like they're dirt? They taste like dirt a little bit?
I do chocolate-covered almonds sometimes if I need to not eat terribly. Yeah,
you think they're healthy, but, I mean, they all have fat in them. Everything has fat in it. What are you going to do? Positively E said, who's a weirder conversationalist, Peter Gabriel or Michael Stipe? I'd rather talk to Michael Stipe.
He probably has more to talk about, right?
I have more to talk about to him.
Well, sure, many questions.
He did the theme song for Get a Life. We talked about Andy Kaufman, Man on the Moon, that kind of thing. But Peter Gabriel, I would say, hey, out of all your friends, you're like the third one I would like to talk to.
I like Genesis.
Yeah, sure, but he's kind of like,
That's what I mean, though.
Yeah.
There's others.
Yeah, I don't like... Well, he did that Big Time music video. I like that one.
And was a WrestleMania theme song.
Yeah. And isn't it weird that Phil Collins' Easy Lover was the WrestleMania 1 theme song, and then Big Time by Peter Gabriel was WrestleMania 22? And then Sting got nothing.
You know what's kind of amazing is that Motorhead got multiple appearances at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And I guess Genesis did.
Yes.
Probably Saliva, too, and Kid Rock, now that I think about it.
And Limp Bizkit. I feel like Fred appeared multiple times in one show. WrestleMania 19 was like the Fred Durst hour.
That was a Motorhead. The appearances of Motorhead was a question and stump the bump that eliminated the favorite.
Yes.
To many people's happiness.
There's been a request here, a 60-second scene from SM. Would you like to participate in it?
Let's go. I can't believe this. You're really testing me.
Yeah, 60-second scene. I'm Leonardo DiCaprio in Titanic, and I'm arguing with you. I assume that would make you Rose. And I'm arguing that I should get to survive too.
Quick aside, I have never seen this movie.
Well, you're going to be great for it. Then just act like a real survivor. Okay. Hey, Rose, could you scooch over?
Oh, it's a little tight on here.
Well, just a little room. Give me that. I'll go on this end, you on that end. We'll balance it out.
There's some splinters over here, though. I don't want to move over too far. It could hurt.
Okay, I've been wanting to talk about this all week, but when you paint a picture of someone, nude, clothed, or whatever, I think they owe you a little bit of debt of gratitude, and I think you could be a lot nicer to me.
But this is, this is a whole different. That's art. This is life.
Isn't art imitating life?
Not when life is on the line, of course.
Okay, listen. Have you seen Victor Garber floating around anywhere?
I might have passed him a couple of waves ago.
Oh, great. Well, there goes that bet I had. I'm not going to draw him now either. End scene. And that's usually the best way to end a scene is a well, see ya. You know?
I was just floating away and you were thinking.
Yes. I had only seen it. Somebody brought Titanic at a sleepover or something. I was in grade 6.
Here's what I would say. This is my argument.
Yeah.
I know the end of the movie.
Right.
It's a long movie to know what happens at the end.
I'll do you one better. I auditioned and I got the role, but then I was cut from a movie called Pompeii. With
that got trapped under the volcano.
Yes, with Kiefer Sutherland was in it and Kit Harington, and I was to play Kit Harington's father. He had a flashback to when his father died when he was young, and it was supposed to be me.
Wow.
Yeah.
What happened?
They went.
Or did they cut you?
They cut me because I would have. It was a sword fighting scene, and they went over budget very quickly, and I was replaced before the training. So I was in and out very quickly by the stunt coordinator because they figured he already knows everything.
So it was a flashback when you were his father.
Yeah.
And you were sword fighting.
Yep. And I met Kit Harington and I was introduced to him as his father.
And then you were the father he never had.
Yeah. I was an absentee. I was a real deadbeat dad. Unfortunately. Nails wants to know, is your daughter with you?
All right. You want a penny cameo?
Oh, Nails, you asked and you're receiving.
We have to mute the children's programming that's on.
Yeah.
Other than you, of course.
What are you watching, Captain Kangaroo?
We're watching Dougie.
You watching what?
Dougie. It's a British cartoon about a giant dog who has somewhat of like a Boy Scout, Girl Scout troop.
Oh, I came up with a parody. You remember those old British kids shows, and they would be way like more boring than the American ones?
Yes.
Like Rupert and Little Bear, Tintin is another one. See if she likes this song. This is a song from my fake British children's show. Ramble Shanks, sitting in your comfy chair. Ramble Shanks, now let's read a book.
What do you think, Penny? Can you say hi to RJ? Can you say hi, RJ?
Okay.
There you
Oh,
go. There's your cameo.
beautiful. What a well-trained child.
Okay.
Hello, Penny. Are you a fan of Ramble Shanks?
What do you think? Yes or no?
No.
No. Sorry.
All right. Ramble Shanks has been canceled. Hey, Penny, I'll tell you something else. David just told me that Ear 2000 had 2 platinum records.
Did you know that?
Okay.
Okay.
Hi, Penny.
Can you say bye, RJ?
Okay.
There you go.
Bye, Penny.
She only gets paid by the minute. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I understand. She's in and out. She did her act, and then she leaves.
Very much.
Um,
Like a Wednesday morning wake up in your show, but just with her.
This is a Sunday, Wednesday morning wake up.
Perfect.
Did you know that Ear 2000 had 2 platinum records?
I probably should have. They're both platinum.
Yeah. Well, he also says, thank you, Matt, for calling that match.
It was a pleasure. By the way, he wore a $1 Million Man T-shirt on that day after the match. That's what he was wearing.
And took a picture with Virgil in the parking lot.
Did he have to pay for it?
No, but he did have to pay for it. I saw him get swindled in real time by Bob Backlund.
Did he have to name the presidents?
Well, I said to him, David, that's Bob Backlund. Like, go said, that's like, the guy. And David's like, oh my God, wow. So he goes over to pay his respects. Next thing I know, he's reaching into his pocket for some cash. And I think he ended up with a book that I'm sure he gave to someone.
Nearly met a president right there.
Oh my God. David said, In Your Eyes, the song, was written by was written about his sister.
We've made all kinds of connections on this day.
Yeah. Did we? I feel like this is a real live stream and pop-up video.
56 watching and only 24 likes. I get to say that for once. That should be much higher.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I can't even like my own pop-up video,
I have pitched a pop-up video program many times. Maybe we'll make it happen because of this.
I have another request if you want to participate in it. I feel like I'm asking a lot of you.
Before my wife gets home and asks me what the hell I'm doing.
Perfect. Jack said, I've been ill the last couple of days with a crap cold. I would really like a visit from your newest character, the easy listening radio DJ who is also a wrestling fan. No set time limit, just until you think you're done. Would you like to co-host the radio show with me?
I will tell you yes, because I used to do this when I hosted radio shows on Sirius on the Fantasy Football Channel. So absolutely.
All right. Okay. I tell you something, you're thinking about life and death and mortality, and you hope that if you do die and you're in the ground, you rest in peace. Well, here's another piece of My Heart by Janis Joplin. And then the song ends, and it goes over to you, Matt.
And I'll tell you what, every time I need something to touch me in that very special way, I listen to that song because it's just too sweet. We'll be back after this.
Oh, very nice. Very nice. All right, I got one more. And of course, you are listening on the radio, and you can't see me, but I can see clearly now because The Rain Is Gone by B.J. Thomas. It's also important to know the artists.
You do, and you need a lot on the radio. So I don't know if you've heard, but for the next 4 days, we'll have nothing but sunny skies. It's true. It's true. Let's go over to Steve with sports.
Oh, that was well done and scene. You got a good tag team there, and then Steve makes old film references for some reason.
Yes, very much. So I had somebody I work with who did an entire WrestleCast.
Yes.
Of Louisville sports. His name is Adam Lefko. He's on TNT now, doing Inside the NBA, and then he did a Seinfeld cast just to make sports a little bit more interesting in Kentucky those evenings.
Wow! And the umpire's saying no soup for you.
I'm pretty sure that's exactly what he said.
That's amazing. Well, Matt, I want to thank you for joining me. I know you have duties as a husband and as a father.
Yep, I'm gonna go do those.
Yeah.
And hey, I hope you're back on the bump, because if you are, it'll be for life.
Oh, gee, that's a legally bonding contract. I heard I got replaced by Michael Strahan, but nevertheless. No? Okay.
I won't let that happen.
All right. There's a rumor mill. Okay. I'll talk to you soon.
Pleasure, everybody. Bye-bye.
Goodbye. And then I remove him from speakers. I get to kick him out of the room. Well, that was Matt Camp. Isn't that sweet? And you got the whole double thing, and I got all these comments to catch up on now. We learned so much, and I haven't even pressed the coffee. Let me press the coffee. Blue Meanie said, I sat 2 tables from you guys at the Oregon Diner. That is the name of the diner. And that is also, I believe, the first time I met Blue Meanie in person. There's a good one-handed, one-fingered standing press. I am very much the man in form today. Oh, Lord, and I just spilled a little. And, thank you for reminding me, Blue Meanie, because one of my favorite moments with David ever, I'm so upset that we, sometimes it bothers me that great things would happen with us and we weren't filming. He said, it was in the beginning of the day, we did that signing and it was lunch, and he said, oh, I want to go to this diner. And I said, oh, why do you want to go to that? He said, I heard it was really famous. And my response was, yeah, well, like, you're famous. And it was just a wonderful moment, and I wish I had captured it. Nicholas said, this is amazing. Who is on the phone with RJ? If you are not familiar, or if you just tuned in, I just spilled more coffee on the ground. The person who I spoke to was Matt Camp from the wonderful French wrestling program, Le Boom, which you can catch every Wednesday morning at 10 on the WWE Network or Peacock or all over WWE social media. Sometimes I participate in the show with a Wednesday morning wake-up. Sometimes I do not. It's a real gamble. But he did say if I come back, I'm spilling so much coffee. I wish you could all see this. I don't know. I filled it up too much. He said, if I do come back, it's for life. So that's the beginning of his Twilight Zone episode where he said it, and now I keep showing up like the cable guy going, "You said for life." Maureen, the free pile picker, said good morning for some reason. Meaning we're talking, Caitlin said, Julio said, the cappuccino story is really true. RJ always talks about it. He even comments on Courtney's post. It's hilarious that it was really that bad, RJ. Her cappuccino was so bad. She messed up making it. I don't know if she was just not paying attention. Halfway through, she went, oh, shit. Like, I fucked this up. It's going to be really bad. I'm sorry. And what bothers me is that before that, she touted how great she was. She said, do you want a cappuccino? I make a really good one. My response is, I don't really drink cappuccinos, but if you make a good one, I would like to have a good one. So she conned me and then just passed this mud water on to me while apologizing. So I'm out for revenge. Let's just say Blue Meanie's making hearts. David's making hearts. Year 2000 was on 2 platinum albums, Scream 2 and Scream 3 soundtrack. David, that is the biggest Ponzi scheme in the world. And you also have one. Don't you also have one from Ready to Rumble? Because there was like a Blink-182 song on there that for some reason is nowhere else. And that's the only reason it's popular. Queen of the Ring is here, who also has a new merch line out, if I'm correct, with her Church of Joshi business endeavors and a pair of shorts that I like. She said, wow, wholesomeness pairs great with my cappuccino. I hope you have a good non-Courtney cappuccino. Queen said, now I want to watch Pee-wee's Playhouse. Rest in peace, John Peregrine. Blue Meanie said, 3 of my messages in here have been no-sold. I feel like a blue-headed stepchild. I'm going to go back and look. I'm so it's because I'm the talking. I got to... David said, to answer Matt's question, Michael Stipe talks more and is easier to talk to than Peter Gabriel. I did scene work. Blue Meanie, I'm so sorry. Queen of the... Blue Meanie said that Saliva was a multiple show band. I guess that's true. I also think they made multiple appearances on WrestleMania 18. And then David said Paul Sorvino tried to beat Michael Stipe up in New York one night for saying something mean about his daughter. And then he gave you money and said, now I got to turn my back. Now I got to turn away. I'm sorry for I can't. I'm getting better simulcasting. I'm sorry to everyone. Rachel said, who was taller, me or Kit Harington? Much taller than Kit Harington. Sean said, I remember the marketing for that movie was obvious but smart. They were like, would flash Kit Harington on screen but didn't credit him in the trailer, so you would Google it and get your attention. Very smart. Neil said, this is so cute. I don't know where we are. David said, has she seen Penny from Pee-wee's Playhouse? It's worth a Google. I'm sure that that Matt has shown Penny, almost anyone who's vaguely named Penny. And I also believe there's a Penny in Inspector Gadget. No? I hope, are we caught up, Blue Meanie? Queen said, the chat is hot today, Meanie. Spot Center said, I bought 2 signed books from Bob Backlund in a now defunct shopping mall. One donated to an auction, one given to my son. He did a mid-ring headstand later that night. His son? Your son, Bob Backlund. David wants to see me and Matt in a WKRP reboot. It's been rebooted once before with Tawny Katane, and I talked to her about it on the bump. David said, with Meanie as the Rascal Knight DJ. Major Fomo said, I'm Vesuvius. In many ways, I've blown my top. Michelle is here, and Jimmy Cliff sings, I Can See Clearly Now. BJ Thomas sings, Raindrops Are Falling on My Head. I got my raindrop songs confused. I'm sorry. Thank you. Major Fomo is making fun of Matt's goodbye. I don't think he put a good in there. David said, he really filled up that coffee this morning, not so much the underwear. Oh, you're a fucking right. You want to go back in timeout? Try me. Neil said, LaBoomp is on YouTube and everywhere. There's no excuse not to watch, especially for RJ. Oh, I'm so far behind in this chat. I'm getting caught up. Daniel said, living on the air in Cincinnati, WKRP. Leo said, what is the worst dancing that you have ever seen in person? I just at weddings, there'll be like a old uncle in the back of the room, and there'll be like a little bit of this. Like, I want to participate, but I don't want my feet. The worst dancing I ever saw, like a bolt of lightning. I saw a musical called Queen for a Day, and it was playing in like my town outside of Toronto. So like not in Toronto, which is telling. I think they were workshopping it for a bigger production, and it was starring Alan Thicke. And he came out, he was the host. It was about a game show, and he was the host of the show. And he would kind of do the steps, but he would have backup dancers behind him doing what the steps were actually supposed to be. And then he would do these lazy, abridged versions. And at no point did either of his feet leave the ground. He was shuffling the whole way through. And that was the worst dancing I've ever seen. Blue Meanie said the Oregon Diner is a post-ECW show or any ECW arena show ritual. Well, I've only been there once. And it was good. I think I misordered, to be honest with you. I'm weird ordering before a show. I have want to keep it light and, not too much sauce or anything. And I think I undersold what was, you know what I mean? I didn't dive into the diner experience. And what else bothered me is that they wouldn't let me bring my Starbucks into the ECW arena. I got coffee. You go down across the street. I think there's a supermarket, and there's a Starbucks in the supermarket. And they wouldn't let me bring it back, so I had to get David's friend to sneak it into the back door. Daniel said, do you have a Ribera jacket, Meanie? That's the wrestling dining that matters most. They give it to everybody. Alice said, I know I'm late. Sorry, hi and bye. It's okay. SM said, speaking of Blink-182, I was set to hear that Mark Hoppus had cancer. I didn't know that. And now you're delivering the news to me. And you've increased my sadness. Leo said, were Metallica not in that Darwin Awards movie that David was in? That's a good question. Speaking of saliva, never get into a spitting contest with Stratosphere. Okay, noted. Daniel said, Michael Stipe can't start a church because he clearly lost all his religion. He was in the corner, too. Queen of the Ring said, yes, Church of Josie made Manami. Man, I can't read it and say it. Toyota shirts and shorts. Everything sold out, but we can send you for down the road, RJ. Well, maybe you should make some underwear. It's perhaps Bull Nakano underwear. I picked her up from the airport once. She was really nice to me. Daniel said, yes, Penny is Gadget's niece. Blue Meanie said, Paul Krosky, the drummer from Saliva, wore a T-shirt for my indie promotion 3BW on a Survivor Series as a shout out to me. That's fantastic. Did they do Fight? Every time you did that, I'm done. I come back stronger. Was that them? We have to go through non-WrestleMania musical performers. Stokely is a wonderful tribute just to do the horse. And I can do it not as well on this side. But that's in tribute to the wonderful Bobby Fish. May God rest his soul. Ty said, Daniel Price losing my religion means losing his temper, not his religious faith. And I did not know that. We're learning a lot about music and songs today. David said, Bob Backlund pressured me into a book and signature situation, and I had no choice. You made the right decision. It was the right move. It was all you can do. You can't say, no, I've just come here to respect you and not read your literature. You don't go up to Hemingway and grab a picture and then leave, I wonder if Hemingway sold books like that. David has another tribute apropos of nothing. Queen dump the K-Cup. What? Oh, Queen said, RJ, you're pushing me to get a French press lately. The K-Cup machine isn't doing it for me anymore. David just sent a tribute of a little dancing lemon, Queen, to tell you to get rid of the K-Cup. They are hot plastic garbage, and it is wrong. Get the French press. A friend of mine this morning has a very expensive coffee machine. They love their coffee machine. They talk about the coffee machine all the time. Come over and have my coffee machine. It broke down this morning. So now she's looking for the French press that I had bought her because it never fails. Think about that, Queen. Talk about longevity. You're still going to be making French press 20 years from now. You can be popping K-Cups? I don't think so. Lumini said, I've unfortunately never been to Japan. You can get the jacket, though. You know, people. A Jack Victory or something would have a jacket like that. You know what I mean? I feel like you would just have the channels to like just get a jacket. And usually when people go to Japan, they come back and they wear that jacket and any Japanese merchandise to let people know that they just got back from Japan. That was the equivalent of, remember kids would go, like in grade school, they would go to the Caribbean, they would get their hair braided with the beads just to let people know, and they would leave it in for weeks just to let people know. And Michelle said, I'm living on the air in Cincinnati. Literally, I live near there, so Cincinnati air is what I breathe. And that's why your lungs are doing so well. That's why they're in such tip-top shape. Blue Meanie said, next time you're in Philly, RJ or David, you have to go to the diner with me. I'm like, they're Norm from Cheers. I think I had met you after that at the show. I don't think we met. Maybe we did meet in the morning, but I felt like we met post-diner pre-show. So I would like to go to the diner. They had a very long menu. That's one of those diners where you're going to be there. We went, where did we go after the show? Meaning you'll know the name of it. It was a sandwich place, but it's like almost like an open up shop. And, you know, it's very small. They have like 1 or 2 rows of tables, big long lineup, like just a cheesesteak kind of place. And on the ground, they have almost like a Hollywood Walk of Fame of people who have been there, like Bobby Vinton. You must know the name of this place. It was close. SM said, did you hear season 2 of Los Spookies premieres July 16th, just before your birthday? I did not hear that, and I'm excited because I really loved season 1. Leo said, Poppy is the new Flo Rida, who is the new Saliva in WWE, who is also the new, who else did they get? Aaron Neville only did 1 shot. Aaron Neville's a 1-shot kind of guy. Really did a mic drop on that. Rachel said, Bob Backlund was standing behind me at a WWE show years ago, and he kind of scared me. Intense fellow. Doesn't have a mellow button. Daniel said, hey, Arquette, how would you have felt if Howard Hessman had ran his classroom like a radio station? I will tell you something. Me and David worked on a preliminary idea for a talk show years ago, and the first guest that we thought was attainable and listed was Howard Hessman. Queen said, already threw the K-Cup out the window. Well, I hope you open the window first. You know, you don't want to also destroy a window. And maybe you order the French press first. Okay, good. You have to make a whole scene about it. Spot Center said, ever slip a greenhorn of Viagra before the show as a rib to see if he can wrestle with a boner? No, I don't have access to male enhancement pills. It's too much money for a prank. Gotta be honest with you. I would just rather perhaps massage his back until they become aroused and then he's got to wrestle that way. Neil said, I understand that, Rachel. I would have been scared. Queen said, thanks, friends. Jack Townsend. Oh, Lord, we missed this. Poe Girl sent just a tribute, which is just sweet. Daniel said, that's really an RJ question. I'm missing so much shit. Jack said, wow, we're learning a lot about music, pennies in media, and various tidbits from the fringe of the wrestling world, because who wants to be in the center? Daniel said, my Black & Decker coffee pod versus a K-Cup versus a French press, book it at Vesuvius. No, French press, I'm not having this. Is not a contest. Blue Meanie said, I legit get angry at anyone who has never been to Japan and wears a bear jacket. I don't want to be a poser. I know. And also, I don't feel like that kind of jacket is that comfortable to me to wear. I'd rather a hoodie, to be honest with you. Neil said, in England, kids would show they had been to Tenerife with 1 single braid in their hair. That's it. Where did you don't have to ask any questions. Where did you go? Queen said, the cloth rat tail with the yin-yang charm hanging from the bottom of your hair. You tell the world, I was on vacation. David said, is that the same diner we sent Billy Ray a couple pies? Yes, the Oregon Diner. And then the place after that, Tony Luke's. Thank you, Matt Camp. Tony Luke's was the name of the cheesesteak. I don't like, Cheesesteak, another thing. I'm not a big red meat guy. You gotta kind of go into the red meat to enjoy it. I got like a chicken parm kind of thing. It was okay. But I enjoyed reading these sidewalks. David said I'm a Johnny Fever guy. You have quite a fly trap on you, I must say. Rachel just sent a good job. Thank you, Rachel. That is so sweet of you. I appreciate it. Blumini said, was it Tony Luke's? Yes. Good Philadelphia investigative work, everyone. Nail said, David, pie seems to be your gift of choice. Well, because the Bully Ray one was so successful, we thought, what do you get Steve Austin? You get him a pie. And we were also having lunch because we went to do the podcast. We got there way too early. Traffic was very good. And we went to go do it, and we were sitting, and we're like, well, wow, we should bring him something. That's a me thing. Like, you want to bring a little gift. And almost every time I've come to David's house, I brought a gift. And his wife has noticed, and she has said as much. And we were sitting in the diner, and the pies were going, well, you bring the guy a cherry pie. And he, to my understanding, loved it and demolished it. Leo said, do you remember when Victoria used to bring a spider? Yes, I do, and it freaks me the fuck out. And I don't like it. Michelle said, I hope this doesn't get me kicked out of the room or selling my character, but I use a Keurig. But I use the reusable cup and put my own coffee in it. Does it give me a pass and keep me in the good? I just hope for the best. And I hope that you will come around, Michelle. That's important. And I'm just here to give you love and support and guidance. And if you choose to take it, that's up to you. David said, Tony Luke's, and we had a stalker happening. We did have a stalker happening. We're all eating cheesesteaks. Stokely said, someone make a GIF when RJ does the horse. Stokely has a horse fetish, obviously. Daniel said, I love watching WKRP reruns. They're so hard to deal with. They never really come out on DVD because of the music rights. Queen said, it's New York City. The windows are already destroyed. And if somebody caught it on the street and went, hey, thanks for the Keurig. Look at this. I got a cake cup. That's my cartoonish. Leo said, I would love to see RJ and David on a movie or a TV show. I know. We should do like a documentary or something. Val said, I need a Blue Chew sponsorship. I feel like I have broader appeal, to be honest with you. A coffee and underwear. If I do Blue Chew, then I gotta fluff myself all the time. I show my underwear. It's crazy. David said, who gets aroused from a back rub? Sounds like somebody's never had a good back rub before. Maureen said, you can buy her a bear jacket on eBay. My point exactly. Neil said, is that Stokely? I don't believe there's any Hathaway involved in that Stokely. Sass Transit said, David, you've not had the right kind of back rub. Exactly. Leo said, there was a very creepy man at work. He used to give an unasked for massage. He also used it to touch people's arms. Yep. That's a guy who should not be working. Daniel said, you get Steve Austin beer-flavored pie. No. Yeah, the guy has enough beer. You get him cherry-flavored pie. Blumini said, other than a cheesesteak, the other unsung great sandwich done in Philly is a roast pork. Again, the red meat. but I feel like I do need to experience it, and I would like to. Leo said, what did you think about Eric Rowan and his toy spider? It's a phobia thing. It freaks me out equally. Sass said, oh, God, yes, a roast pork with broccoli rabe. Now I'm interested. Nell said, there's already quite a few RJ Horse gifts. Daniel said they had a box set at Walmart of WKRP last night. I almost bought it, but I didn't. The look of disappointment from Hessman made me sad. That's why I always try to be disappointed in my promo pictures, too. Matt Camp said, Stokely Hathaway was lost at an Evolve show somewhere in Florida. Sounds like a de-evolution to me. Unrelated, Malcolm Bivens did make quite an appearance on NXT this past week. Everyone was saying, who's Diamond Mine? I thought Neil was starting a stable. But if it's not going to be Neil Diamond, I'm happy that it's Malcolm Bivens. That's for sure. And a damn fine turtleneck. Queen said, RJ needs his own coffee line. It's a whole thing. If I had enough money to open my own and do like a whole thing, otherwise I got to find a place and just slap my name on it and schlep it. Please buy my coffee. You know, I'm working on it. Look at this. I have not had one sip of coffee that I haven't spilled. David said you can also buy a Tony Alamo jacket. on eBay. What's that, you ask? I'll tell you something. I've never forgotten it. David said, Tony Alamo is a fun Google rabbit hole. Everybody, after this, and we're going to be done in 5 minutes, Google Tony Alamo, and then tweet David your findings. Poe Girl said, that chat, this chat is straight from the Twilight Zone today. This has been a weird day. Sass said, pork isn't red meat, silly. Well, it's not exactly white meat, okay? I don't think pig breast is the same as a turkey breast. Queen says, I know a coffee guy. Oh, do you? Michelle said, well, if you're so pressed about it, send me a take-hug French press, mister. I wouldn't trust myself, but the proper one. Very clever, Michelle. Neil said, go to Rootless Coffee. There's been some good coffee housing coming out of there. Super said, I would kill for some coffee right now. Well, what do you want from me? He said, Neil Diamond, bust out Sweet Caroline. Jack has a request. Hopefully this gets in before the end of the stream. 60-second scene. You forgot to put on underwear for the coffee and underwear show, and now we're approaching the end of the stream. Think fast. Well, let's take a look. I've taken a look, and I will tell you it is good. It is good underwear. It is on me, and you know what? Maybe this show needs to stop being RJ Makes Coffee in his underwear. Maybe it just needs to be RJ Makes Coffee, and it doesn't matter what I'm wearing. And I think it's important that, I have faith in you people and a belief that you'll give me good conversation, and you, in turn, give me the trust and the faith that I am wearing underwear. And I think it would be an insult to you to tip the camera down and show you. You understand what I'm saying? That would be over the line and beyond the pale. I guess the pale is beyond the line. Nevertheless, what I'm wearing is none of your business. And scene. I think that would work. Good scene, Jack. SM said pork is the other white meat. Michelle said Tony Alamo. So this is a cult. Daniel said, I've never seen a dark meat pork chop. Come to think of it, I've never seen a pork chop I didn't like. Queen said, sounds like you need a Church of Josie underwear. I want Bull Nakano, but sideways. And her hair just going all the way around. I feel like that's the only way you can correctly capture her. Kingdom said, you're bottomless, aren't you? Well, that was the scene prompt I was given. I was merely acting. Blumini said, Pat's and Geno's are okay for steaks, but there's so many good mom and pop shops. They make just good or better. Philadelphia's a weird place where it's like very mom and pop centric, and also like the reliable chain stores are bad versions of them. Like that Starbucks was shit. So I would much rather go to a mom and pop. The mom and pops rule Philadelphia because it hasn't been aggressively gentrified. And that's seriously. And the shit, all of a sudden, one day you got an Applebee's and then you got to get out of there. Well, now everyone wants to see. D South said, people are way more appreciative of the loincloth. I should get a loincloth. Do they make like modern men's loincloth? David said, you should really look into a Blue Chew sponsorship. It's a little passe. I think I can do better. Michelle said, the pale is below the tan line. Well, Michelle is always clutch with the puns. Nail said, RJ is particularly great when acting out mild panic, almost like I've been there before. Leo said, what about a Manscaped sponsorship? They know me. Just offer it. I don't want your product. You know what I mean? I don't want a bottle of Blue Chew. It's not going to do me any good. Maureen said, I think you were channeling Colt there for a moment. Sure, the wonderful Scotty Colton. Queen of the Ring is taking notes. And she's got it, I assume, in a hand. David said, I've never met a pork chop I haven't liked. That was a quote from me, apparently. Kingdom said, I know you're a method actor and you probably slit them off for the scene. Well, I wanted to also air everything out. Michelle said, well, I love you guys, and I hope you all still love my Keurig using ass. I hope your ass doesn't use it. Although people do caffeine enemas. Blue Meanie said, I don't know how any chain store pizza survives in Philly. You can throw a rock and hit a better local spot. My point exactly. It is a small town city. Queen said, Queen of the Wing is my nickname. in Buffalo, flats only. David said, love you all, Queen of the Wing. Everyone's laughing. Well, I would love to thank Matt Camp for joining me. I would love to thank Penny Camp, his daughter, for joining me. She did a wonderful job. And everyone in the chat, Blue Meanie, Queen, David, Nug. Who else was there? Brian Gumbel was in the chat for a little bit, which was really nice. And I think I saw Gene Shalit pop in, but then he deleted his comment. Let's get one final look at these huckleberries. Blue Chew is not needed. Certainly not in that area. And then now, yes, they're all stained because I've been spilling coffee on myself the entire time. Godspeed.